This is Brian, ScreenFiles.com in review. And what I'm looking at today is 2003's Jeepers Creepers 2, directed by Victor Salva. And this is a difficult movie for me to comment on because I'm not one of those people that typically separates the person from their art. Which is to say, if you're a terrible person, I'm not interested in your art. For instance, I think James Woods is a great actor, though based upon what I know of him as a person, which admittedly only comes from posts on Twitter, I refuse to call it fucking X, and things of that nature make him sound like a conservative moron. So I tend to avoid works by James Woods. Conversely, once again, the man can act. I don't think it's deniable. He is good at what he does. If you've read what Stanley Kubrick did to Shelley Duvall during the filming of The Shining, I don't see how you couldn't dislike him as a person, because he was cruel, he was manipulative, and it was needless, at least I think. Shelley Duvall's performance in The Shining was very good, but did you have to terrorize her to get it? That's a valid question in my book, and I don't think he had to. And in fact, I don't think a movie needs to terrorize anyone to get a good performance. It's, after all, called acting. It is not called reality. So I don't buy the notion that people need to be treated like shit to get good performances out of them. And that brings me full circle to Jeepers Creepers. Though what Victor Salva is known for primarily is molestation of underage people, underage boys. And so he is a particularly creepy person who abused their position. And that bothers me a lot. But conversely, Jeepers Creepers 2 is probably one of the best sequels I have ever seen. And I include non-horror movies in that as well. It is a great sequel. It does everything right. It takes the threads that were weaved in the first movie and makes something new, but very much evocative of the original movie. And it's not something that a lot of directors can do particularly well. Salva will introduce an idea or a very crucial thing at the beginning of his movie and have it pay off at the end. That sounds simple, but once again, a lot of directors cannot seem to get their heads around the concept. And in Jeepers Creepers 2, he not only does it once, he does it twice. 2 times he introduces things that are crucial to the story initially, and innocently, by the way. You don't know that they're relevant to the plot until later in the movie. But he does this so damn well. The director of photography on Jeepers Creepers 2 is Don Fauntleroy. And this is a gorgeous Spielbergian movie. It looks beautiful. And everything creates these contrasts that just are magnificent. This is a great movie, I kid you not. Some of the FX, I would say, is a bit wonky, particularly some of the green screen. But it's relatively few and far between, and so it didn't really bother me. It's also so well acted. I've rarely seen a movie with so many young adults. I'm guessing early 20s at the oldest for most of the cast, where everyone acts so well. It's a minor miracle that he was able to pull off what he pulled off with this movie. And let's be clear, Jeepers Creepers 2 is very gay. And I don't mean that as an insult, because frankly, I don't care. If you make your movie well, for instance, Hellbent, very gay, very good horror movie. The point being, if you make your movie well, I don't care about the sexual proclivities of the director. I don't care about the sexual proclivities of many characters in the movie. I don't necessarily even care about how blatantly homoerotic this movie is, because everything is executed so well. And in fact, I have to say it's one of those few movies that just flows. Even when the actions of certain characters aren't those that I would necessarily understand, it works within the context of the story. It doesn't feel like something that was added for whatever reason. It just works. And the movie is hyper-literate in the sense that it references things from Hitchcock's Lifeboat to Herman Melville's Moby Dick. And it does so well. If you didn't know that, it wouldn't preclude you from enjoying this movie. It is a brilliant film. And I honestly think that if Victor Salva weren't Harvey Weinstein-esque in his approach to actors, Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2 would be among some of the best horror movies made. And I should mention that I haven't seen Jeepers Creepers originally, though from what I recall, and I will watch it again, though from what I recall, this plays better than the original movie. The original, I remember being very good. This works better. And so, unfortunately, Victor Salva ruined that for these movies. And there have been sequels done by other people. And those weren't bad, but they just didn't have the scope, the scale, the visual sense of Victor Salva's movie. And what kind of bothers me a little bit is that I would love to see Victor Salva do a reboot of Poltergeist, or even Phantasm. But the thing is, based on his actions, that will never be. And as I said before, it is a great movie, made by a really terrible person. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Review. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow. Peace.